I'm out of the weapons business, not my cake, but how do we put a suit of armor around the world?
Honey, where's my super suit? The public is in danger. The MCU heroes are known for their charisma,
Really great hair.
Excuse me?
heroism, and of course their sweet thread.
This is fine Asgardian leather.
Being an Avenger, a protector of the Earth, or a villain trying to actively destroy it sometimes requires a little help, especially for those not gifted with superpowers. Some of the best suits in the MCU belong to some of the most and least powerful characters. But with their trusty super suit, they become a serious threat. Who has the most powerful garb, and who's fighting crime in their bathrobe? Let's take a look at the most powerful suits in the MCU right now.
You got a suit? Then suit up.
The What If animated TV series introduced us to some of the most sneakily powerful characters in the MCU. From zombies to party animals to the Watcher, the power displayed in animated form could rival some of the most powerful live-action characters we have met since 2008. However, probably the most powerful villain, aided by the most powerful suit, is Infinity Ultron. In the universe where Ultron won, he successfully uploaded his consciousness into the Vision, and he became so incredibly powerful that he wiped out the entire world thanks to the Mind Stone. When Thanos arrived, he split him in half and obtained the other 5 stones.
Fascinating.
He then used them to create the iconic MCU Vibranium Ultron armor, only this time complete with the full might of the Infinity Stones. The power of the stones is already incredible, and through them, Ultron was able to gain full multiversal awareness, and even challenge the Watcher on his own turf. Even without the stones, the Ultron exoskeleton is an extremely durable piece of hardware. It took full blasts from Iron Man, Thor, and Vision to even crack the Vibranium masterpiece. Infinity Ultron was able to manifest this powerful armor from nothing, and then equip it with some of the most powerful weapons in the entire multiverse. Eric Killmonger also proved himself to have devastating potential as a guardian of the multiverse when he donned this suit himself. Overall, even in animated form, I think it's clear that the Infinity Ultron exoskeleton is the most powerful suit in the MCU. When you think of powerful MCU suits, only one man should come to mind, and that is of course the late great Tony Stark, better known as Iron Man.
You know me? I do.
The fact that this normal man with no superpowers could create one of the most powerful weapons in the entire universe should amaze literally everyone. Not only that, but if we're being honest, he's probably got 2 or 3 of the top 5. Iron Man's armor is ever-changing, and always adapts to some of the strongest adversaries the genius billionaire playboy philanthropist has faced. Some of his greatest hits include the Hulkbuster armor, a suit capable of neutralizing one of the most powerful creatures in the universe, the Incredible Hulk. There's also his legion of suits known as the House Party Protocol that successfully rescued the president. However, his most impressive is his Mark 85, his final and most impressive armor. This armor was made completely of nanotech, allowing him to seemingly conjure weapons from thin air, and made it so he could go toe-to-toe with Thanos. Overall, Tony's suits will always be some of the most impressively powerful ever created, and even the ones he gave to others will probably be mentioned again. One of the MCU's newest heroes probably presented us with the coolest look of any hero. Moon Knight displayed some impressive abilities, and no matter which personality was in control, they were displaying a sweet getup. Stephen Grant as Mr. Knight wore a slick, all-white 3-piece suit with a white mask that definitely doesn't look like Deadpool. That same mask is worn by the Moon Knight when Mark Spector is in control, and he dons the ceremonial armor gifted to Khonshu's avatars. The suit and the armor not only look cool, but they give the person capable of summoning it access to the powers of Khonshu. It stores incredible weapons like the Crescent Darts, and its cape allows the wearer to glide from building to building. It makes the wearer impervious to wounds, as Mark and Steven both get fully impaled and walk away just fine. Overall, this is a magical suit that gives Khonshu's avatars amazing power. I can't wait to see what Jake Lockley's take on this overpowered suit looks like. Either way, he'll still be one of the most decked out heroes in the MCU, backed by the power of an Egyptian god. The Black Panther easily has one of the greatest suits in the MCU. Given that the Wakandans had been working with vibranium for centuries, they learned how to weave it into their clothes and eventually created one of the greatest pieces of armor for their greatest warrior. Not only is the suit nearly impenetrable, but once Shuri took over the technological advancements of the country, the suit got some serious upgrades that helped turn the Black Panther into one of the greatest heroes of all time. Shuri created 2 suits, one worn by T'Challa and the other eventually worn by Eric Killmonger. The qualities she added to them helped them take a top spot among the strongest MCU suits. First, nanotech allowed them to be completely stored in the teeth of a necklace, and it could be summoned at any time by the wearer. She also gave the suits the ability to store and redistribute kinetic energy, which led to some of T'Challa's most powerful moves. Overall, the suit is a technological marvel, no pun intended, and a crowning achievement for one of the most advanced nations in the world. Having Tony as a mentor is the gift that keeps on giving. While Tony definitely kept some of the best suits for himself, he created some incredible gems for his protege Peter Parker, better known as Spider-Man. His newest suit looks cool, but given that a high schooler just used a sewing machine to create it, I would think its power doesn't quite come close to that of his previous versions. Tony created 2 suits for Peter. First, there was a high-tech suit given to him in Captain America Civil War. This upgraded suit had several different web combinations, as well as an artificial intelligence pairing similar to that of Jarvis, named Karen by Peter. His suit was loaded with tricks including a drone, a parachute, a tracking device, and an instant kill mode. All of these features were brought over to the second suit created by Tony for Peter, and clearly the best one, the Iron Spider armor. On top of everything else, this suit was made of the same nanotechnology that allows Peter to put it on instantly, and surround himself with an incredibly dense metal at a moment's notice. It is complete with 4 large spider arms that really do some damage when Peter decides to use that instant kill mode. Hank Pym is one of the smartest people in the entire world, whose inventions not only help access unattainable places, but also help turn some of the most normal of small-time criminals into the greatest heroes. Or old business proteges turned crazy into the most underrated and powerful villains. The Pym particle allows the space between molecules to shrink without losing mass. This allows heroes and villains such as Ant-Man, the Wasp, and Yellow Jacket to become size-altering threats. Yellow Jacket and Wasp definitely had some design upgrades that Ant-Man is jealous of.
Hold on, you gave her wings?
Such as the ability to fly and shoot powerful energy blasts. The Ant-Man suit, however, has been made to be one of the biggest threats on the battlefield. And yes, the pun was intended. The Ant-Man suit can not only shrink but grow to an enormous size, which proved to be a real difference maker in both Civil War and the final battle in Avengers Endgame. Most importantly, the technology in these suits was crucial in creating the time travel suits used by the Avengers to go back and retrieve the stones. With all these amazing suits, Hank Pym really gives Tony Stark a run for his money when you think about it. So many people owe their thanks for their unbelievably powerful suit to the late great Tony Stark. Iron suits began to be worn by more and more heroes, effectively making multiple Iron Men fighting for the side of the Avengers. We've already talked about what Tony did for Peter, but he outfitted his best friend as well, making him a literal war machine. Lieutenant Colonel James Rhodes was Tony's right-hand man, and after he took one of the Iron Man suits, believing Tony to be too irresponsible, it was outfitted by Justin Hammer and the military, and became one of the most intimidating recurring super suits in the MCU. The War Machine armor has the great features and durability of Tony's earlier suits, such as its flight, hand repulsors, and artificial intelligence guidance system. This suit was also decked out, armed to the teeth with military weapons, with the piece de resistance being the giant minigun attached to his shoulder. War Machine with his suit has been able to cause incredible damage on the battlefield, showing that while Tony was around, he really took care of his friends. One of the newest suits worn by a longtime fan favorite may prove itself to be one of the most powerful. From the best designers in Wakanda, Sam Wilson's new Captain America suit is not only flashy but functional as well. During his time as the Falcon, his wings were extremely advanced, allowing for seamless flight. They were also upgraded to include rockets and missile launchers, easily stored handheld weapons, and a drone named Red Wing. It's likely his new Captain America suit, which has a special place for the iconic shield, contains all these same upgrades, plus more that we haven't seen yet. The suit likely contains the same vibranium weave as the Black Panther suit, and the wings appear to be made of pure vibranium. This allows him to create effective shields, but also use them as powerful attack weapons should he choose to do so. The new Captain America is definitely well protected and ready to kick some serious butt. Personally, I would have added a helmet, but that's just me. Tony may have been responsible for creating some of the greatest heroes in the universe, but we would be remiss if we didn't mention any of the villains he helped contribute to. Tony's technology is very dangerous, especially when found in the hands of someone like Obadiah Stane or Anton Vanko. Two of Iron Man's first villains were able to get their hands on the arc reactor technology that Tony perfected, and served as a power source for his Iron Man armor. Stane became Monger when he re-engineered Tony's Mark I suit and used one of his first arc reactors to power it. This suit was incredibly powerful, and multiple times the size of Iron Man. It has fatal flaws, however, like an icing problem and an easily damaged targeting system. However, the fact that Stane was able to build a suit the size of a tank that could still fly and packs more weapons than a regular tank was very impressive, even if his fight didn't last all that long. It was a great suit, especially in the earliest stages of the MCU. Oh yeah, and Whiplash did the same thing, except, he added whips. Tony's tech fell into the hands of other villains as well, though they re-engineered it and made it more their own. There is no greater example of this than the Vulture. With his team behind him, including master inventor Phineas Mason, better known as the Tinkerer, he was able to build a giant Vulture suit that allows him to fly at high speeds and steal just about anything while making a quick getaway. The Vulture's wings are incredibly sharp and versatile, similar to Falcon's wings, only much larger. Powered by the Chitauri core, these wings serve as a great villain suit that makes a normal man able to absolutely destroy a superpowered teenage hero. Adrian Toomes' invention allows him to obtain some of the most powerful weapons in the world, and the fact that he was nearly able to destroy Peter should not be overlooked. One more thing, maybe it's not that special of a suit if he can immediately rebuild it without any of the same technology in the world of Morbius. Oh well, I think it has something to do with Spider-Man. God, I hate everything. The greatest hand-to-hand fighter in the MCU was just recently introduced, and will likely play a huge part in the universe moving forward. Most people are focused on the mysterious and powerful weapons he had just acquired, but Shang Chi's suit is definitely worth mentioning. When he and his sister Jia Ling arrived in Ta Lo, it was revealed that their aunt had been preparing for their arrival. Ta Lo has some of the greatest weapons, and the only ones that can kill soul suckers. All thanks to the Great Protector, a large extraterrestrial space dragon who looks over their village. Ta Lo has been able to harness the power of the Great Protector's scales and incorporate them into their staffs, blades, and arrows. Most importantly, it is part of their clothing, and Shang-Chi and Jia Ling were given specially made dragon scale outfits for the coming fight with their father Wen-Wu. The dragon scales are nearly impervious and provide a great shield for two of the strongest fighters in the MCU. Mark Spector was not the only one gifted a fancy suit by an Egyptian god, which is kinda weird that that specific thing has happened more than once. Mark's wife Layla was sought after by Khonshu to be his avatar, but knowing his tricks, both Mark and Layla made sure that didn't happen. However, there was another goddess who was definitely a better match. Taweret, the fertility goddess, and also a fiercely protective being, chose Layla as her very own avatar, transforming her into the Scarlet Scarab. She was gifted a great supersuit, made of gold and complete with sharp wings. Layla, much like Mark, showed immediate proficiency in using her suit, blocking bullets with her wings and using the shards to take out several followers of Amit. I think it's safe to say that we will be seeing Layla don the suit again, as the Scarlet Scarab, and when it's backed by the power of an Egyptian goddess, there must be a whole lot of other tricks up her sleeves. Well, this suit doesn't really have sleeves, but you get it. One of the most anticipated MCU villains, introduced with a twist in Black Widow, is Taskmaster. Revealed to be Antonia, the daughter of Dreykov, Taskmaster is a top-notch fighter whose suit gives her the capability to copy any hero or villain's fighting style. Though for the majority of the film she was a mind-washed drone of Dreykov, we have no idea what she will be like now that she is freed. I think she will still come back with a more villainous demeanor, using the powerful suit to her advantage. The Taskmaster outfit is a combination of weapons belonging to several different characters, such as Black Panther's claws, Hawkeye's arrows, or Cap's shield. It is outfitted with cameras that track the movements of Antonia's opponents, and feeds data directly to her brain, allowing her to perfectly mimic those fighting styles and moves. Overall, this is an underrated high-tech suit that appears to be one of a kind, and will hopefully pop up in some kind of thunderbolty story soon. Protecting the King of Wakanda is no joke, and the most elite warriors must be outfitted with some of the greatest suits. Probably not thought of at first when you think of powerful suits, but the Dora Milaje, led by Okoye, wear stronger armor than just about any other group of soldiers in the MCU. The traditional wear of the Wakandan Kingsguard may not seem like much, but it's actually powerful armor made of vibranium. It's light-fitting and allows them to be some of the quickest warriors around. The Dora Milaje are even able to take on and easily defeat super soldiers like Bucky and John Walker.
Well, let's put down the pointy sticks, and we can talk this through, huh?
Shuri also insisted that Nakia wear the traditional outfit when they were preparing to fight Killmonger, because, of everyone, Shuri, who probably designed it, knows of the protective ability it possesses. If you can't be wearing the literal Black Panther suit itself, I would think the armor of the Dora Milaje would be a close second choice by just about anyone. The original suit of the MCU, worn by the first Avenger, has evolved over time to be one powerful piece of fighting garb. Steve Rogers, the original Captain America, was given many suits by powerful designers, such as Howard Stark, Shield, and Tony Stark. Some of the most powerful features of Steve's many uniforms include magnets to recall his shield, and chainmail-backed fabric that allows him to take some of the hardest hits and still be able to do this all day. Overall, many other suits have surpassed the level of power that the uniforms worn by Steve Rogers, but his iconic helmet, shield, and suit symbolize protection and remind us all where the MCU started. Granted, if he was given the choice, he probably would pick the Infinity Ultron armor, but old World War II inspired army uniforms with the stars and stripes on it is a pretty good choice too. Oh dang, we ran out of time and didn't get to talk about Quicksilver's stretchy blue shirt and fancy running sneakers. Oh well, maybe next time. Which MCU supersuit do you think is the most powerful?